Under the glaring lights of Studio 1A in Rockefeller Center, New York City, where the iconic Today Show has broadcast its blend of sunshine and shade to millions since 1952, the morning of September 27, 2025, dawned with an electric undercurrent that no one could have predicted. The set, a vibrant mosaic of pastel blues and greens with the massive glass windows overlooking the bustling plaza alive with tourists snapping selfies and street performers strumming guitars, hummed with the usual pre-show frenzy, producers barking orders into headsets, makeup artists wielding brushes like weapons against the relentless humidity, and interns ferrying coffee cups emblazoned with the NBC Peacock logo. At the heart of it all was Jenna Bush Hager, the effervescent co-host of The Fourth Hour, daughter of a former president and a former first daughter herself, whose bubbly persona and relatable anecdotes had made her a fan favorite since joining the show in 2008. At 43, Jenna was navigating a new era. Just weeks earlier, on January 13, 2025, Hoda Kotb had stepped back from their shared slot to focus on family after years of juggling motherhood and the early wake-ups, leaving Jenna to helm the hour solo with a rotating cast of friends, like Willie Geist and Chanel Jones, but today, it was a special lineup billed as Jenna and Friends, featuring surprise guests to celebrate the show's resilience amid cord-cutting and streaming wars. The audience, a mix of Midwestern moms in coordinated athleisure and wide-eyed millennials clutching VIP passes, settled into their seats with programs promising segments on fall fashion, quick recipes, and celebrity chit-chat, unaware that the air crackled with unspoken tensions from behind-the-scenes whispers. Reba McEntire, the 70-year-old queen of country whose voice had soothed generations through hits like Fancy and The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, arrived fashionably early, her red hair swept into an elegant updo, clad in a tailored denim jacket over a crisp white blouse and jeans that screamed Oklahoma ranch chic, practical yet polished, a nod to her roots on the family cattle operation in Stringtown. Reba, fresh off a triumphant Broadway run in Annie Get Your Gun revival and her ongoing role as a coach on The Voice, where she'd playfully name-dropped Jenna and Hoda just months prior during a hilarious battle for contestant Tae Lewis on the February 26, 2024, episode, was there to promote her latest venture, a star-studded Netflix docuseries chronicling her 50-year career, interspersed with raw confessions about personal losses, including the tragic 1991 plane crash that claimed 7 of her bandmates and the more recent passing of her mother in 2020. What fans didn't know was the simmering feud that had brewed in the months leading up to this appearance, sparked by a seemingly innocuous podcast episode of Jenna's Today with Jenna and Friends, spin-off in June 2025, where Jenna, in a candid roundtable with fellow TV vets, had offhandedly critiqued legacy acts in country music for clinging to nostalgia instead of passing the torch to younger voices like Lainey Wilson or Megan Maroney. The comment, meant as light fodder for a discussion on industry evolution, went viral when clipped and shared on TikTok, amassing 15 million views and drawing backlash from Reba's loyalists who saw it as a veiled dig at the icon who'd paved the way for those very newcomers. Reba, never one to shy from the spotlight but fiercely protective of her legacy, had responded subtly on her Instagram Live, quipping, "Honey, I've been torching stages since before some of y'all were born. Ain't no clinging here, just burning brighter." The exchange fueled tabloid speculation, with outlets like People and Us Weekly running feud alert, sidebars, but both camps insisted it was water under the bridge, a classic case of misinterpreted banter in an industry where every word is dissected like a surgeon's scalpel. As the show kicked off at 9 a.m. sharp, Jenna bounded onto the set with her signature Texas twang, waving to the crowd in a flowy floral midi dress that fluttered like autumn leaves, her co-host for the hour, celebrity chef Buddy Velastro, cracking jokes about cannoli mishaps from his Cake Boss days. The first segment flew by, a lively demo of pumpkin spice lattes with a twist, laughter echoing as Jenna pretended to spill foam on Buddy's apron, setting a tone of unbridled joy. Then came the announcement. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a woman who's as much a part of American heartland as apple pie and pickup trucks, please welcome the one, the only, Reba McEntire. The audience erupted, a standing ovation rippling through as Reba strode out, her smile radiant under the lights, enveloping Jenna in a bear hug that lingered just a beat too long, a subtle signal of the warmth masking deeper currents. They settled onto the iconic blue couch, mics clipped seamlessly, as Jenna gushed, "Reba, you are a living legend. Your new docuseries has everyone ugly crying over those behind-the-scenes stories. Tell us, what's the one moment from your career that still gives you chills?" Reba leaned in, her blue eyes sparkling with that trademark twinkle, launching into a tale of her 1976 debut at the National Finals Rodeo, barrel racing by day and singing by night, her voice weaving a tapestry of grit and grace that had the crowd hanging on every syllable. The banter flowed easy at first, Jenna sharing a story of her own ranch visits with the Bush family, drawing parallels to Reba's Oklahoma life, Buddy chiming in with a quip about country fried steak versus Italian feasts, evoking the playful shoutout from the Voice where John Legend had teased Reba about landing contestants on Today with Hoda and Jenna's star PowerPoint 660-405. Laughter bubbled up, the monitors in the control booth flashing green lights for perfect timing, but as the conversation pivoted to the docuseries, themes of mentorship and legacy, the air thickened like storm clouds over the plains. Jenna, ever the eager interviewer with a knack for probing just enough to spark revelation, asked, "Reba, you've mentored so many, Gwen Stefani on The Voice, now these young guns in your series. But in this fast-changing industry, how do you balance honoring the old guard with making room for the new? We've had such great chats on the show about evolution, like that time we talked legacy acts needing to step aside sometimes." The words landed like a boot heel on fresh gravel, innocent on the surface, but loaded with the echo of that June podcast clip. Reba's smile froze, her fingers drumming lightly on her knee, a telltale sign from years of stage presence that something had shifted. The audience sensed it too, a hush falling as if the plaza outside had held its breath. Reba tilted her head, her drawl sharpening like a fiddle string pulled taut. "Well, Jenna, darlin', I've always believed in lifting others up, not stepping on toes to make space. Legacy isn't about clinging, it's about roots that feed the tree so the branches can grow tall. But if folks think us, old guard, are in the way, maybe they should ask why we're still selling out arenas at 70 while others chase trends that fade faster than a summer tan." The studio rippled with murmurs, Buddy shifting uncomfortably as Jenna's cheeks flushed a rosy pink, her eyes widening in that deer-in-headlights moment every live host dreads. Desperate to course correct, Jenna laughed it off, a bit too brightly, saying, "Oh, absolutely, Reba. You're timeless, no one's saying step aside, just evolution, you know. Like how Hoda and I evolved our hour after she stepped back this year to focus on her girls, change keeps us fresh." 35 AAAE. But the reference to Hoda, Reba's old pal from those Voice shoutouts, only fanned the flames. Reba's eyes narrowed, her voice dropping to that husky timbre that could hush a honky-tonk. "Fresh, honey, I've been fresh since bell-bottoms were in style. But talking evolution like it's a one-way street, dismissing the ones who built the road. That's not chat, that's shade. And I'm not here for shade on live TV." The words hung heavy, the control room scrambling for a commercial break, but with 5 minutes left in the segment, there was no escape. Jenna stammered, "Reba, I didn't mean," but Reba was already rising, her chair scraping with a metallic screech amplified through the mics, grabbing her water bottle like a lifeline. "You know exactly what you meant, sugar. I've got real stories to tell, not this backhanded nonsense. Y'all have a good show now." And with that, the Queen stormed off, heels clicking a defiant rhythm down the hallway, past stunned crew members and into the green room where her team waited, jaws agape. The audience gasped collectively, a wave of shock rolling through as cameras captured Jenna's frozen smile cracking, Buddy muttering a feeble, "Whoa," that escalated quick, and the monitors cutting frantically to a pre-taped weather update. Outside, the plaza crowd, peering through the windows, buzzed with confusion, phones already out to tweet the unfolding drama. Within seconds, #Reba Storms Today trended nationwide, clips leaking via staffers' sneaky recordings, turning a morning fluff piece into national news fodder. Reba, in her SUV en route to a waiting helicopter for a Hamptons fundraiser, wiped a single tear, not of hurt but fury, at the industry that pitted women against each other, at the soundbite culture that twisted words into weapons. Jenna, post-commercial, powered through with a shaky monologue. "Folks, live TV is real life, sometimes sparks fly, but Reba's a class act, and we love her." But the damage was done, a clash that exposed the fault lines between generations in showbiz, where admiration and resentment dance a tricky two-step. As the hour wrapped, producers huddled in crisis mode, fielding calls from Reba's camp demanding an on-air apology, while fans flooded socials, Team Reba decrying, Jenna's millennial entitlement, Team Jenna defending, honest convo gone wrong. This wasn't just a walkout, it was a reckoning, a fiery reminder that even queens have limits, and in the Coliseum of morning TV, no one's immune to the heat. The docuseries premiere that night. It shattered Netflix records, irony thick as molasses, proving controversy is the best promoter. And as the sun climbed higher over Manhattan, the story was just beginning to unfold, with apologies, think pieces, and perhaps, in time, a reconciliation over mimosas and mics. As the echoes of Reba McEntire's heels faded down the corridors of 30 Rock, the Today Show's control room erupted into controlled pandemonium, a symphony of frantic whispers, ringing phones, and executives gesturing wildly at screens replaying the frozen moment of Reba's exit, her silhouette vanishing stage left like a curtain call gone awry. Jenna Bush Hager, still perched on the blue couch with sweat beading under her foundation, forced a laugh into the microphone as the show segued into a segment on fall boot trends, her voice pitching higher than usual, betraying the adrenaline crash of live wire embarrassment. Buddy Velastro, the burly baker turned reluctant mediator, cracked a joke about spicy cannoli fillings to lighten the mood, but the audience's applause felt tepid, their eyes darting to the empty seat where the Queen of Country had reigned moments before. Back in her dressing room, Jenna slumped against the vanity, scrolling through the incoming torrent of texts from her inner circle, her twin Barbara urging, "Breathe, sis, it's TV, not the White House," and Hoda Kotb, now blissfully off the hook in her Connecticut home, texting a heart emoji followed by, "Call me, wine and wisdom incoming." The feud's roots ran deeper than that podcast clip. Whispers in Nashville circles suggested Jenna's off-mic envy of Reba's unyielding relevance, especially after Reba's surprise duet with Post Malone at the 2024 CMAs had gone mega viral, eclipsing Jenna's own book club picks in cultural chatter. Meanwhile, across town in a sleek midtown hotel suite overlooking Central Park, Reba's team transformed the space into a strategy bunker, her publicist, a sharp-witted Texan named Carla, drafting a statement that balanced fire with finesse. Reba appreciates the platform but won't tolerate dismissals of her life's work. Conversations evolve when respect leads. Reba herself, kicking off her boots to pad barefoot across the plush carpet, poured a tumbler of sweet tea laced with a splash of bourbon, a ranch remedy for rattled nerves, and tuned into the live stream on her iPad, watching Jenna's recovery with a mix of amusement and ache. "Poor girl's green as grass," she murmured to her manager, Rex Lynn, the gravel-voiced actor from her sitcom days, who nodded sagely, recalling their own on-set spats turned to scripts. But the real shockwave hit social media like